Hi, good morning. My name is Emmanuel Bentil. So I'll be looking at leveraging artificial intelligence for cost estimation for small construction businesses. I'm going to share my screen and then I'll proceed. Let me know if in case you can see my screen. Can you all please see my screen?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, so basically when we talk about estimating costs for construction business, we all know that there are a lot of challenges and gaps regarding manual quoting and also estimating for construction businesses. And that creates a lot of gaps and issues when a customer requires you to do a survey at the site to produce accurate quoting. And at the end of the day, there's some gaps regarding the cost, and also in terms of the project, it's not aligned with the cost. You need to also take factor of how you going to retrieve the data after, at the end of the day, you need to also have inventory, just stock taking, and all the necessary a huge gap. So we decided to look at artificial intelligence technology to help quoting accurately, faster, and to also build on a database that you can retrieve and to be stored as a large data. That artificial intelligence can learn from the past records, so that in the future, if there are new construction evolution or paradigm shift, this large data that has been stored by the artificial intelligence can guide you through quoting. So the project is to integrate it with Traders Market with the ICONSMAT site, built on WordPress with artificial intelligence to allow easy query of responses from the client. So as I said, small construction business face manual cost estimating, inaccuracy, and it's also not efficient by Hassan Zadeh et al. 2022. And AI offers automated data-driven solutions for faster and more reliable cost estimation. So the research explored an artificial intelligence tool with the machine learning capabilities as a paradigm shift to manual quoting and other technologies that does require artificial intelligence. So the problem statement is that manual methods leads to high error margins, especially if you have to deal with, you need to do a survey, you need to also consider expert engineers that also need to be involved. At the same time, if there are new methodologies that requires to improve or in terms of project management, in terms of, and there's scope creep, and that happens a lot. If you don't do proper or accurate quoting, at the end of the day, the customer may come up and then give you new activity that may impact what has already been quoted. And that also impacts because you need to cost for the new project that has been considering into the past project. So there's a limited adoption of digital tools among small construction businesses. So the objectives of the research is to develop an AI-based cost estimation model and integrate with the ICONSMAT platform, which will be built on the WordPress, and then also evaluate the effectiveness in the terms of accuracy, speed, and user adoption. So in this case, we did a few survey, and then we gathered some data. The data that we gathered, I'll show you as we move on. So the literature review from the past papers that I read about AI improved forecasting accuracy by Hassan Zadeh et al. 2022. And then also time efficiency and automation reduce overhead by Duta and Real 2020. And then also digital competence and trust influence tech adoption by Alabi and Mahamadou 2021. Right. So aside the artificial intelligence, I also chance on reading further to um, Internet of Things, which also helps in building with the artificial intelligence as a future research. During the literature review, the Internet of Things help with an instant quoting as well by giving you a cloud-based integration into the platform to allow a size survey, so where you have a small gadget or digital device that you can punch in all the measurements and all the materials that have been identified during the estimation and can easily be fed into a data set, and then through a telemetry, you'll be able to analyze the AI will give you an instant quote based on the information that have been fed. So the methodology is to design science research approach and do a survey for 6 small construction business professionals, develop a WordPress-based prototype, and then deployed and evaluate over 3 weeks. So 65% use spreadsheet and manual notes. 48% had cost deviations. And the key issues, material prices changes, which is lack of data by Trans et al. So the AI to error margins helps reduce by 6.8% versus the 13.2%. And then estimation time, 6 minutes against 27 minutes. 80% rated to as easy to use by Istalo et al. From the past post-implementation results. So the user feedback and SWOT summary. So the strength is to, there's been an accuracy and speed usability in terms of artificial intelligence. In terms of weakness, you need to depend on internet. If I'm doing manual quoting, I don't need internet. All I need is have a manual book or paper and measuring tool, and also an expert that will guide me according to the site resources or the client requirement. So the opportunities is also looking at the mobile app, regional pricing. With the mobile app, that is where the IoTs also come under it. If I have an handheld device, like a mobile device, I don't need to carry a laptop by visiting a site and typing it. At the same time, I don't need to also launch the website in order to visit the traders market to perform the quoting. If there is a mobile app, you can just launch the app as ICONSMAT, and you select the category and you select based on the customer or client requirement, and then you provide the necessary data. It will be fed into the database, and you can receive an instant quoting. So in terms of the trade, digital illiteracy, data trust, when you're talking about digital illiteracy, it takes time, because if you usually do manual coding, you've done a lot of work around it. You've improved and advanced on how to do your best with the manual coding. Now you are moving to digital illiteracy. Sometimes an internet interruption can also make you confused, wondering what is happening. And you may also fall back to an expert to assist you or guide you with that. If you have a huge client that you're required to give an instant quote and you have some internet interruption which you have no idea, or for some reason the app is also giving you some issues, it also impact. But however, it all requires involving stakeholders and then giving them an understanding of how the platform works. Manual or process or procedure of how to work around the two is also mitigation against digital illiteracy. For data trust, yeah, how can I trust my data? Well, where is it going? Who can see my data? If I feed into the database, how am I sure that if I have found an opportunity from a client and I have given an estimated quote for my proposal to the customer, who has access to the proposal or my budget? And so this is also part of the data trust. In terms of security, how do I ensure that if there is a data breach of the system, I can retrieve my data back? And this is where you also look at the database data warehouse or distributed database system, where ICONSMAT platform need to have a fault tolerance database system that can allow fault tolerance and redundancy of database or servers. If in case one server goes down, the other can also be up, which you can call it N+1 for redundancy, and to also ensure there's sort of an XDR, that is extended detection and response solution, that is being installed either on the platform, the operating system set. So for instance, if in terms of the platform, the operating system is also not protected to support the database and all those attacks that may be infiltrate into the system hosting the application. So one is to build a distributed database system to support fault tolerance, redundancy of. So you can also build with Redis database, which acts as a middleman in between the end user and the application to support cache system, so that it can promote faster query of the application and all that. So the SDR is also an autonomous artificial intelligence that allow visibility of all sort of attacks that may come through the system. So if there's any ransomware attacks, for instance, you can also make sure that. And as well, you can also talk about backup system, ensuring that there's a regular backup and an RPO, which is recovery point objective, or recovery time objective, is also at a minimal level, even if it can be a real-time zero timelines. That can also be a good deal to improve data trust from our client. So I'll speed up from this side. Talking about the business side, there's a survey that we did from sales responses. In terms of the business size, 1 up to 5 employees, 6 to 20 employees, and the medium side, we have 21 to 50 employees, and large, 51. So among the responses we had for micro and how for medium, and out of the medium, we got 66.7%, and then for for micro, we got 66.7, and for medium, we have 33.3%. So in terms of number of years in operation, we have less than 1 year, 1 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, more than 10 years. 50% of it for the 1 to 5 years, 16.7% for more than 10 years, and 33.3% for less than 1 year. Types of services provided. We had for general construction, plumbing, electrical work, roofing, tiling and flooring, painting, and then landscaping. As I said, I'll move faster so that I can be in time. How do you currently estimate project cost? In terms of manual calculations, it takes lead among the estimation software and AI-powered tools. How satisfied are you with your current cost estimation method? So from the responses, we had for giving us about 66.7% of it. And what are the biggest challenges you face in cost estimation? So one is inflation of prices. That is in Ghana, for instance. Someone also gave some generic data, variation and thoughts about client accuracy and precision in delivery, time consuming, data entry, sum up, and time consuming. So I'll move on. I've already spoken about time consuming and as one of the challenges. Data entry is all under data illiteracy. How often do inaccurate cost estimates affect your project outcomes? So 83.3%, that is for occasionally, and 16.7%, that is never. Are you aware of AI-powered cost estimation tools? Yes and no. So you have 83.3% for yes, and then no for 16.7%. And have you ever used an AI-based cost estimation tool? That is for yes and no. We have the 66.7% for no and 33.3% for yes. So it's a consistent from the previous questions. Okay, so move on. What features would you find most useful in an AI-powered cost estimation tool? And we have the real-time material pricing integration, labor cost prediction, automated quotation generation, historical data analysis, supplier and contractor recommendations. All right. So it seems real-time material price integration took the lead of, at the end of the day, you want to have a real-time pricing integration. Would you be willing to adopt an AI-based powered cost estimation tool if it improves efficiency? 83.3% is yes, and then maybe 16.7%. What potential barriers might improving you from adopting an AI tool? High cost. With a manual, you don't pay anything to anyone. You just carry your diary or your estimation book, and then you construct what you'll be expecting, and that's it. But for AI tool, you need to pay because the platform that you're using need to employ software engineer, security and systems, network, all together to improve and manage the system. So you need to pay for the service. Lack of technical knowledge, resistance to new technology, lack of trust in AI-generated estimate. So the discussion around is AI meets small construction business needs for efficiency and terms of professionalism, positive impact on competitiveness, and two aligned with existing literature on AI. in Construction by Alabai and Muhammadu in 2021. So recommendation is to scale to regionally, develop mobile version of it. However, the mobile version may be ideal because if on WhatsApp platform, there's an AI to allow you to put in some small query to give you responses on that. I believe then with the AI, too much easier to develop a mobile version of it, and giving training models and also assist with the integration of ERP or CRM project tools. If you meet a client who has a system that requires you to push or feed into their system so that they can also make query of the data that has been sent to you as the project developer. Right. So I'll end here and then open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Does anyone have any questions?
If I may ask, is it okay? Thank you so much, Emmanuel. It was brilliant to have this amount of information, especially the survey results would determine a lot of the future about this project. But I had a few questions about the security measures that you have mentioned. It was because I'm pretty sure you're coming from a cybersecurity background. I just want to learn more from you. That when we said we should have a backup system and a backup server, would it be something that would be viable and feasible for small construction businesses to invest on? Like, I was just thinking that maybe a beta version for that platform would be enough for the beginning. Then, if the clients, customers started to grow, and like, is there any plan for a backup system, or is it just a suggestion?
So for small construction, the platform is being hosted by a service provider, and which is being outsourced to, for instance, if it's being hosted by ICONSMAT. If we are dealing with small construction business, it means that we can have more customers that will be using the platform. At the end of the day, if you're targeting about 50 construction business, even if it's small construction business, the platform become large. And as a matter of fact, a backup system will be necessary. If it has to be a standalone system for a construction business, that is where you might consider doing on the OS level of backup, or a backup of the database system where you can store it on a drive and then you take it up, or you intentionally schedule yourself to do a backup to disk, or to attach storage to a shared location. But if it's a shared platform, then a backup, it means that if we have to consider a small construction business, then we rather defeat the purpose of having the database in a central location. And as a matter of fact, the backup will need to be considered.
Thank you. Yeah. That's definitely something to plan for. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry. Any more questions? Hi, Bogan.
I'm concerned about security, and in my opinion, as a technology guy, I'm an inventor, and I understand a lot of industries and backgrounds. So the problem is you have to feed in information for AI to be able to assess everything. So, for example, you need zip ties for electrical cabling or something in your quoting. AI must be informed about that and must know the plans. So how would you provide information for AI to be accurate and make sure it's safe.
Right. So on the security side, so I'll respond in 2 ways. So on the security side, as in the AI, if the platform, for instance, there's I mentioned extended detection and response solution as being installed on the servers of where it's hosting the database and the application servers. Now, let me talk a brief about the extended detection and response. The extended detection and response has a static AI, lateral movement, behavioral indicators, and document and scripts. All are built with artificial intelligence to learn all the large data that is being fed into the database system. So now, if there is any infiltration of the AI tool that is being built as web application, the extended detection response has the capability to learn that sort of attacks that may come in and has a way of filtering to understand which one may impose threat to the system or the data. So on the AI tool on the application side, it also AI doesn't we don't actually have the capacity to develop an AI, right? So you rather do an integration with an API onto the into the WordPress system. So it's a plugins that you integrated. So it means that the AI tool that it may also and check from time to time. And as a matter of fact, if you have that SDL installed, it has the capability to give you the vulnerabilities of the AI plugins that has been integrated, and you can remediate it by working on some maintenance or patching it with the latest model or the stable version to improve security. Have I answered your question, Mr. Madrick?
Thank you for that.
Right, thank you. Any question or any contribution?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
Much
so much.
appreciated for listening to me.
All right, so we'll go on to the next speaker now. I have Lu Hyun, and she'll be discussing her self-heating food packages for remote construction projects. Over to you, Lu.
Hello, everyone. Before started, let me share my screen.